Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Detective, a modern crime board game. This is designed by Ignacy Trzewiczek and it is published by Portal Games. Everybody's watched procedural crime dramas at one point or another, thought they could probably do a better job. Well, now you get the chance to do so in a modern crime setting. Take a look at the back of the box. It says here, take the job of a real detective in a modern setting. Solve mysterious crimes working as an Antares National Investigation Agency team member. This board game tells rich stories you will participate in. Let's hope that you will be able to deduce the end before there is another crime. The game will challenge you with 5 different cases. Seemingly unconnected at first, they will unveil an immersive meta plot based on facts and fiction alike. Use every tool at your disposal to solve these crimes. Consult the internet, check the facts, and constantly discover new clues. You are not playing a detective. You are a detective. And it says here, solve 5 different cases and find out what connects them. Enter a city maze of old mysteries and fresh crime. Use every resource as you can. Break the fourth wall. Browse the game's dedicated database, simulating the agency's resources. Cooperate with other agencies or solve the mystery on your own. Download additional free cases from the Antares website. And if you don't want to read the rulebook, you can always watch Rodney from Watch It Played and see how the game is played. It is for ages 16 and up, roughly 2 to 3 hours, and 1 to 5 players. It comes with 175 lead cards, 1 casebook, 15 authority tokens, 10 stress tokens, 12 skill tokens, 1 day marker, 1 IT worker, 1 board, 5 investigative tiles, 5 wild skill tokens, 5 used abilities tokens, 5 special tokens, and 1 rulebook. And that is what the game comes with. Take a look inside what's in the box. And we've got crime scene, do not pass. And this is the guide to the Antares database, how to log in and how to use it, because you'll need a computer to do this, either a laptop or possibly even a tablet. You'll log into this database and you'll be searching leads and looking at evidence through there. You have the rulebook, a casebook, which we'll come back to, your token sheets, a game board, and we've got some bits and bobs down here. We've got some baggies, we've got some wood tokens, and then we've got 5 case file sets of cards, and I'm not going to go through those because those are spoilers. I will show you 1 card just to give you an idea what it looks like, but not going to spoil it for anybody. But let's put this on the side. This is your game board. This is where you're going to keep track of the time that's expended during the game and the locations you go to, as well as what day it is. You only have a set amount of days to complete each case. These are the character tiles that you can play as. You've got a former FBI analyst, a former investigative journalist, a former psychologist, and we've got a former cop and a former private eye. So we've got a good group of different investigators you can use. And then the casebook and rulebook. We'll take a look through the rulebook first, then we'll go back to the casebook. Okay, so let's take a look inside. We've got our game concepts where it explains to you everything that you're going to need to do in the game, what the pieces do. You've got the 5 character tiles, the 5 case decks, the wood markers, the character tokens, skill tokens, and then how to use the Antares database, the game board, and the casebook, which we've already looked at all of those. We haven't looked at the casebook yet. We'll look at that next. Then how to set up for each case, the summary, days and hours that you're going to be needing to track your daily activity. You can, during a day, you can follow a lead, dig deeper, browse the Antares database, browse the internet, write a report, use an investigator's ability, spend authority tokens to perform an action specified on a card, or perform another action defined by the case introduction or a specific card. Then at the day's end, you move the day marker to the next day. On the day tracker, reset the time tracker to 8 a.m., move the IT marker back to headquarters, sort notes and discuss what you have learned that day, write down all possible leads to keep track of what is available to you. And interspersed throughout the rulebook, you'll have these playtesting tips like this one here. It says, from our experience, taking a 5-minute break after each day to stretch your legs, make some tea or coffee, or eat cookies helps to reset your brain for the next day. This short break helps a lot with processing all of the clues and keeping your team focused. Never turn down cookies. All right, next page. We've got the 3 basic rules. Rule 1 is clues. Rule 2 is time. Rule 3 is locations, and it explains to you how to follow your lead cards, how to use your Antares database, and then general knowledge. And then for time, ending the day, and overtime and stress. And for locations, how you move your markers from a location to location. And then we've got how to follow a lead, the instructions on that, how to dig deeper. Card resolution example, and it gives you an example by showing you a card in the game. And each card is going to be like this, it's going to have some text on it. For example, this one, it says Richmond PD number 336. After you reach the precinct, it becomes clear why no one was answering the phone. Halloween. They decided to hold some kind of an event for Halloween, a fake heist or something. In addition, a lockup seems to be overflowing with perps, dressed like zombies and vampires. It's pandemonium. Nevertheless, you find Officer Murtaugh and ask him about the case. After rummaging through some old files, he finally procures an old cobweb-strewn notebook and offers it to you with an outstretched hand. Here, take it. Put it to good use. I'm too old for this shit anyway. You acknowledge this with a nod and proceed to examine the notes. Read file at 336 in the Antares database, add 1 to the token pool. I think that's a stress token is what that is. And that's an example of what you're going to get in each of these cards. They're going to be telling you different things. And as it did warn at the back of the box, it will have adult language, as you heard right there. Then browse Antares database, browse the internet. They'll have like underlined phrases with a wireless icon. These may be addresses, quotes, names, dates, or other information that you can learn more about by browsing the internet. So you will actually use the internet as well as using the make-believe Antares database. You'll be using the real internet to do real research as well. Using abilities, that's for each of the characters. They each have an ability that you use. You will write a report. You have skill tokens, authority tokens. Then you have matching evidence. When you encounter a signature, visit the AntaresDatabase.com. Click the signature button, type the 12-character case-sensitive signature into the form, and it will give you some information. And then you can save your game, and it explains how to do that. Then you have your investigators, your consultants, plot cards, and it tells you not to read your plot card when you draw it. Wait until the beginning of the appropriate case. Game end and scoring is explained, and then you have the credits and an end image there. And then you have designer's notes on player roles, and then let everybody have a voice. And it gives you the websites and Facebook pages, Twitter, YouTube, and the Modern Crime, Detective Modern Crime board game website as well. That is the rule book. Let's take a look at the casebook here. It says, you must complete all cases in order. Start by reading the case introduction. It will bring you up to speed on what's going on within the story. Don't read any game material in the casebook until you begin to play the appropriate case. Each introduction begins with a few pieces of advice based on playtest to set you on the right path. Please read carefully and take these suggestions to heart. We want you to be fully prepared as each of you delve deep into the role of an investigator. And on the back, and here's a gameplay overview that will give you how to handle your time, actions, locations, things we've already seen in the rulebook, but it's also a good reference sheet here. I'm not going to fan through this because this has some spoilers, but I will show the first case. We'll just go through the first bit of the first case. I'm going to fold this back so you don't see too much. It gives you an introduction here. The case number 1, a man with a golden watch. In front of you lies the first scenario of the campaign, the mystery of the Golden Watch. During the investigation, focus on the primary objective assigned to you by your superiors. Carefully look over every branching thread related to this case. Some of them are irrelevant, while others will unlock new meaning in future cases, allowing you to see them in a different light. Scattered throughout the cases are fragments of a greater whole that will slowly start piecing together. Remember the important initial leads presented to you in this intro. Take good notes, ideally in the form of a mind map. Carefully read the cards and try to draw valid conclusions before deciding to pursue the further leads. Most importantly, do not rush from card to card. Doing this will take you down a rabbit hole of information, causing the investigation to spiral out of control due to the sheer volume of information. Good luck. That's a really good point, because one of the things that people don't really appreciate, I don't think, is how much of a heavy volume of data that law enforcement has to weed through to get to the bottom of a case. We're used to watching, these crime shows where an incident happens and the perp's caught, the evidence is gathered, and it's handed off to the DA, all in an hour with commercials. So, the real world doesn't work like this. It takes, at minimum, days, weeks, months, a lot of times years, to determine who is the perpetrator of a crime and to catch them. But each card, or each case has their own card deck. And that's the card deck here for case 1, the man with the golden watch. It tells you in the book to go to 103 first. So I'm going to pull 103 out here so that way I will read to you what's in it, being that this is one of the first ones that you're going to get anyway. Okay, card 103 says, Antares evidence storage is a huge hangar, back from when the police station was still located here. The police station was moved and the evidence storage stayed. The agency pumped a ton of money into it, added a second hall, automated it as much as was possible, and rigged everything with the Antares computer system. You log into the system, enter the ID number, case number, and verification code, then immediately go to the virtual evidence storage. There are 2 items attached to the case. In the picture next to the watch, there is also a cigar box. The watch must have been kept inside of it. Where did it come from? Interesting. It's time to collect both of the items personally. The system informs that you can collect both of them within 37 minutes from box 28 in section 2 of the magazine. You choose the SMS confirmation and after a while get a barcode to open the box. You log out of the system and quickly go to grab a bite at the Antares cafeteria. A Greek salad, coffee, and a bottle of water. You go to evidence storage. So that is the first card that you're going to get in case 1. I'm not really giving too much away there. I'm just giving you the intro. I don't want to give anything more away, but that gives you an idea of the story that is being told here and the story format they're using. Tokens look really good here on these cards. Nice thick chipboard, and these. Let's pop one of these character guys out here. And on the opposite side, there are consultants on the opposite side of these. There are 5 characters that you can use, and then 5 consultants as well. Chris Stone here, he's a former private eye. Before joining Antares, he was one of the best PIs in Virginia. He always knows where to look. And then on the back you have Jose Lamas, he's a private investigator. Jose is famous in Virginia for his unstoppable will to solve the case. He has extensive experience and is a great private asset for Antares. Just give him access to a lab and he'll find what you need. So that's a look at one of these cards, or one of these character cards that you get. And as I said, there are 5 of them, but also 5 consultants on the back. We have 3 more over here. Tom Clemens, he's a young FBI analyst. Hope O'Brien, investigative journalist. And Ruth Reddies, which is a psychologist. And that is a look inside everything you get with Detective, a modern crime board game from Portal Games. And I don't want to give away too much. You can't really show too much of this game other than the base parts. I can't go into all the cards. I showed you one, but this is one of those things you have to explore on your own. And as it says here, board games that tell stories. Not only does it tell a story, you actually experience a story, and that's really critical here for this to be a really enjoyable time, either solo or with your friends or family. Definitely if you like modern crime stories, if you like any of the detective shows, this is a game to check out for sure. Sherlock Holmes consulting detective fans, another one that you're going to want to check out, especially due to the fact that you can add in some technology and really feel like an investigator doing searches on the Antares database. But looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to play it with my wife. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.